American alone, trying to keep alive. A week goes by, 2 weeks go by. The war is coming to an end. It's already April of 1945. The death marches begin again. At this point, I knew what a death march was, and I knew I can't march. It's down to 75 pounds. I could hardly drag myself. And so I hide. 1 day, 2nd day, 3rd day. Successfully. The 10th of April, I'm hiding with some of my friends under a building in a crawl space, hoping to survive. Suddenly a guard comes along with a dog. He lets the dog loose. The dog immediately launches under the building into the crawl space, begins to bark his head off, and the guard screams, "Get out or I'll shoot you." So all of us come out. Marches us up to the gate. And there I'm standing. It's 11 o'clock in the morning on April 10th, 1945, weighing 75 pounds, knowing that I can't march very long. I can hardly drag myself. I'll be standing there. The siren goes off. Why? There's an air raid. American planes are overhead. Wave after wave. Now, they couldn't care less if we were bombed. But mind you, there were guards all over the place. And in order to march out, we had to have guards so we don't escape. The guards didn't want to die. So they decided, lock the doors, lock the gates, put the electricity into the fence. They won't go any place. Meanwhile, we'll see what happens in the air. The air raid lasted all day long. I survived another day. Next morning, we see that guards are sparse. By 11 o'clock in the morning, on April 11, every single guard disappeared. There were no guards, inside, outside. In the car park, no guards. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, on April 11, 1945, 2 American soldiers walked into our building. One was black, one was white. 2 young, healthy, battle-hardened soldiers. They looked at us. They could not believe their eyes. They had never seen skeletons shuffled before. They broke down. But had enough presence of mind realizing that, wait a minute, crying is one thing, but these people, and we were all kids, 14, 15, and 16-year-olds, said, these kids need food. So they left, said, we'll be back. They left. 2 hours later, a jeep comes down with 2 huge vats of food. And they say, okay, kids, come on. Take your bowls. They fill them up. Imagine getting all the food you want after a year of starvation. My eyes were bigger than my stomach. And not only one bowl. After I inhaled the first bowl, oh, by the way, it was pork and split peas. I said, well, you know, my eyes say, oh my God, there's more food. I run over, and they fill it up again. Another one. And a third one. I picked out. Not a good thing to do. Not a good thing to do. Particularly stomach isn't capable of holding any of this. So, you know the net result of that. It was a minor disaster. But fortunately, the next day, more American soldiers come in, doctors come in, medics, nurses, medication. Tell the troops, guys, you gotta kill them. You gotta give them cereal, rice, little light bread. And slowly we began to function as human beings in terms of food. But we don't look so good because we're skinny, Our clothes is a disaster. We're dirty. We were a small group, a few hundred young people, 14, 15, 16-year-olds in one of the buildings. So the commanding officer, who was in charge now of this camp, said, first things first, we got to take care of the kids. So he marched us out of the camp. We stop at the particular places. Now we stop here and say, see that building? You'll go in there. After you take your clothes off, because your clothes is full of lice and everything else. So get undressed, drop your clothes, you're going to burn it, we'll disinfect you, and go inside into the building and take whatever you need. This building was a warehouse of German army uniforms. So we all go in, and there's this beautiful stuff, clean. We all get dressed up. I put a pair of boots on, pants, underwear, a German army jacket, a hat. I look like a human being almost. And rather than taking us back, they took us to another building outside of the camp. A 4-story building with an elevator, with rooms, with bathrooms. And they assigned 4 people to each room. We walk in, beds, mattresses, linen. We get food. We get chocolate. And we get Camel cigarettes. Every one of us gets a carton of Camels. Most of you don't remember, but the army used to package those Camels in this great green olive drab box. Now here I am in a room with 3 other guys. I'm 15 years old. I never smoked. But you know what peer pressure is? I figure, you know, like, you don't want to be different, right? So you conform. So I decide I'll watch what they're doing, and I'll do the same thing. So you take the little plastic things off, you know, the little paper, and you take out the cigarette, and you take the match and go, you know. And, you know, it has really no immediate effect on me. Half hour goes by, and I go into a cold sweat. My tongue tastes like it's gall. My lips are swollen. I say, oh my God, I survived Auschwitz. I'm gonna die!